Hi folks, welcome back to Timberpunk, and apologies, it's been a bit of a quiet week. Work has been insane, and I just haven't had the mental energy for doing this kind of thing. So yeah, thanks Numa for explaining how the change to this works. It's part of Timprove or Timprove UI, and Timprove UI, one of them, I always get those two mods confused, has had an update as well. I think I understand this better now. I'm going to let it run and see if I actually do or not, and then I might try and explain it. What we are going to do is hook up the water tanks that are over here, because this will help test to see if I understand what I've done. Because I've told them to export water out of this district, and we have a fair bit of water over here from these tanks. Now, we'll probably need it in the future, but this is a good test, and it lets us get access to this, and we might do the same with these bits of food as well. You can't quite reach those. You can. Are they marked for cutting? They are. Awesome. Just trying to check stuff over here. So before we leave them to get on with it again, I have taken the very good suggestion of setting the default job over here to be bots. So they should be able to get into a bit more of this. And I think this guy, it looks like he's sitting doing because they're full. Okay, we might need some more log storage over here. Yeah. Let's build. I think we've got some builders. Let's build a couple of log stores there, and then we can do some slightly cheaty log moving, because we can switch the path either side, as well as relying on our one bot to move the logs. So, and actually what we can do is test my understanding of this, and Fortress Farms is not going to import logs. We're also going to run this path this way a bit, so they can do a bit of that, and we're going to have them come up this way a bit. You will notice the ladders mod has appeared in here because I use the same mod set for both of my current Let's Plays. That's kind of the only reason. So we'll get that set up. We'll get a ladder there as well. Let's make sure all of those are marked for cutting. They should be able to get to a bunch of that. We'll let them work on cutting a bunch of those trees down. Yep. Let's let them do some work over there. Down here, I just want to have a look. Someone pointed out that the water looked like it was doing something funny down the Badwater. I think it's actually the effect of the graphic, maybe, with looking at it from above, because it's kind of fine. And maybe the corner there. Yeah, I think that's okay. Over here, we had the very good suggestion of reworking the water wheels here. I guess we'd need to remove that, because that will let us move this back one, and we can put another big water wheel here then, which would be good. And maybe we should look at reworking all of this anyway, but at the very least, yeah, I think we should tidy this up. Maybe it might mean deleting this guy. We're in the middle of a very long bad tide anyway, so yeah, we can rebuild that easily enough. Actually, while we're at it, let's get rid of those and replace them with dirt. Is it a good time to tidy things up properly? Probably. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of all of this. Let's do a proper job, shall we? while we're here, and we don't need it. So let's get rid of that, get rid of those, get rid of those, get rid of all of that. Put dirt in there. We're going to need access, but we'll put dirt in there. In fact, we've got access if we run a path. Yeah, we'll put dirt in there. We want to put explosives in there. Let's open that up a little bit, and we'll tidy you up as well. So I guess what we want to do is prioritize the explosives. We have disconnected that from power. We do still have an contaminated beaver. So let's put you there also as a priority. Right, that's that going. So the other thing we were trying to work on was this. I'm actually in a drought, not a bad tide. So we might need to fettle. Don't crash. Don't crash. Thank you. We might need to fettle this a little bit to get a bit more power going on. We were also working on connecting this up, weren't we? So, yeah. So let's put that there. I wonder if there's probably a way we can adjust this off of the CMS down here and the depth. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We might as well fill this in at some point. Yeah, let's run at double speed. Get some things done. We're going to need to cap all 4 of those eventually. Yeah. We've got 6 spare beavers, so should we increase the minimum over here to be maybe 15? And that gives us 3 spare. I think we get them working on, at least one of them, on cutting some trees down there. We maybe get another one hauling stuff. And we get another one moving stuff out of here. Those are not full, which is interesting. I guess probably what we need is those to be set to obtain. And maybe a hauler in here. So if we make that a low priority workplace, that's not unlocked for haulers, which is probably why it didn't default to being haulers. And that might help with that. Yep, and we'll let them work on that a bit more. That's going, we're quite low on dirt. But that's okay. Everyone's charged, which is good. You didn't pick up power from that. Okay, let's just resolve that. And let's detonate. It's U for you can't believe. It's not H for boom, isn't it? Keep forgetting that. Because I wanted to make sure we did that before we put the dirt in. So that we didn't unexpectedly constrict things. Because that would have been bad. Yeah. So then we can delete you. We've got access from underneath, haven't we? So we can come, I think it's there, but I might be wrong because I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Nope. That works. Then we'll get rid of you and we'll work on replacing this slowly. Let's run at triple speed because we've got plenty for beavers to be doing. Our food is looking tolerable. Logs are looking okay. Scrap. Oh, we were going to do that, weren't we? So it's been a while, folks, and I've kind of forgotten a few things. We were going to put in our scrap. No, we weren't going to put in our scrap metal tunnel. We were looking at putting scrap metal production over here, weren't we? And I think one of the things we need to do is 1, 2, 3. We'll sort ourselves out over here, but we're obviously in the middle of a drought now, so we've not got Badwater coming in. We had that unstable core, which I wasn't worried about because I don't think it affects anything with the way we are set up at the moment. So we can now delete that and put in those 2 power connections, and that will have all of that hooked up and make that one much bigger power grid. We're running all of this, which is nice. That's all going in. That's going in. Brilliant. So that's all going in. So dirt is kind of a limiting factor at the moment. And then, well, we either need to get across or we do it from the other side. And I think because it's going to take them a while to get all of this stuff cleared, because it's not a trivial job that we're asking them to do. It's not a trivial job. You know, there's a lot of work over here for them. I think what we do is we come down here and we work from this side as well. So, yeah. And I want this to be 4 wide ultimately. So, I'm very much assuming that it's going to cope with all of the flow that we're putting through it. So that's 3 wide. So with 1, we'd basically be looking at bringing it. And I know I'm undoing an amount of the explosives work that I did. With the evil map maker, you kind of have to do what you have to do, folks. It's the nature of the beast. So, yeah, we then want to make sure that we filled that in and out to there. And then we can put in a double wide set of power wheels through there. I think we should leave a bit of room for the water to go around this. So we'll leave some of that open. It's not quite symmetrical, which is going to bug us, I know. So we will endeavour to make it symmetrical, folks. Don't worry. Which means we're not actually going to be able to get it symmetrical because it's 3 wide and we've got a 4 wide gap. So yeah, that's probably about the best we can do. So we'll do that, and then either, yeah, we'll then look to re-narrow it, I think. There's probably going to be some issues with building some of this because of the order that I'm placing stuff. And that's not good. But I think what we'll do is maybe bring some ladders, some bridges over to allow them to just build it from the other side. Bring you there, there. And maybe we go with that, except I've made that too narrow. So let's get rid of that. There we go. So that's going to be our power channel. I feel like now I want to replace all of this that I've put in so that it goes in properly. So bear with me 1 second, folks. Right, that should be better. I just tidied up the order that I laid it down in so that in theory they can do things better. What we're also going to do is put in a large pile here for dirt set to obtain and prioritized by haulers. Just to try and speed things up a little bit. And probably what would also be sensible is let's put it here. Let's not put it right next to the river because that'll give us issues with Badwater spilling out everywhere and also the beavers having to go a long way. So we could just, for now, you can always move it, folks. Nothing in life is permanent, well, except for one thing, you know. And then we can just hook that into there to go back to triple speed. I've got a real habit of running the game slowly and I'm not sure why. Do that. And I don't think I've set up automation on this yet. No, I've not. But, you know, we kind of need it running anyway. So, yeah. Right. That's been built. So, let's think about this, shall we, folks? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be in the way. You there. Let's get rid of you. Grab you. Put you there. Guess we want to move that somewhere else in a bit. Now the question is, do I want to put more of them down here? Or do I just use that to focus the flow? Let's just watch this guy. Make sure nothing untoward happens. He's, you know, I'm fairly confident we're okay. Yeah. We were fine. Who's got nothing to do with their hands? You guys. So let's address that. So basically that just means we need to move you further in, and it also means we can get our hands on those. Set that to empty. Move those further in, and we've got 4 of them working on it, so that's probably enough. Let's put another one deeper in, or have you be a beaver. And yeah, that'll be okay. Right. H. No, U for you can't believe it's not H for boom. You can be deleted, I believe. Bring that back up. You can go grab that, because I don't need that there, and put that there. That gives gives us that power generation capability. We've then got, it might have been better if I had that back where it was actually, apart from the big barrier there. But if we then wanted to put a power wheel there, we could come in with some more dirt there and put that there, and that'll give us some amount of power generation. Will it be enough to run many smelters? Who knows? Good question, well asked. How are we doing for power? We are okay, and the water level's kind of low, so we could nudge this guy open a little bit and juice things up a bit. But yeah, I'm not averse to just leaving this open. And I mean, we need to connect this one in, obviously. But the grid's doing okay, so we just need to move this over to there. Get rid of that. Grab you, put you there, and that'll be that done. Okay, so we now need to suspend that rule. Sometimes that bit just doesn't work quite right. I'm just going to prioritize that, just so they can come in and get that going. And we're going to put bots in both of those to speed that up. Because that feels like a good idea to me. Because we need a lot more dirt. Now I think we've probably got the issue that I had the other side here. So what we could do is allow for both sides to be constructed from... Oh, that doesn't quite reach. That's annoying. Oh, there's a problem. Let me just sort this dirt out and I'll be back. Right, that's been sorted now. So they should now be able to start building that once they've got some dirt to build with. So that's cool. And once I enable the game to run. So that's all good. These guys are doing their thing. These guys may not be able to get to anything for a while, and no, that's fine. They've been sent off to do something more useful, so they can't reach anything either. So what we need to start doing is marking some of the stuff up here to be removed, and probably give it a bit of a priority kick, to be honest. No, I didn't want to do that because that's going to cost us trees. That was a bit of a game lag moment, but I can't be bothered to go undo it all. So, you know, it's fine. It'll be okay. Yeah. And what we will do is give the stuff down here a little bit of the old priority bump. And get you through there. I'm guessing you're full. Yeah, you're full. Are you full? You are full. Right, so what we're going to do is come here. Come here and set these to be emptied. yeah, it's a bit cheaty and cheesy, but you know, speeds up the process. Let's prioritize you as well. Yep. And then we're going to want to bring some dirt in. So what I might do is then set one of these to be filled up with dirt. We might actually need one that we can get rid of those paused things. I'm thinking we need a bigger log store somewhere. And I'm thinking we could use some of this space, or we could use some of this underground space that we're not really making use of. Yeah, let's just wind down the levels. So I think what we could do is maybe put in some underground piles. This is not super efficient, I know. It's been a long week, folks, and my brain is far past super efficient at the moment. I actually was considering not doing any videos at all this week, or this weekend, which would have meant probably into next week. But I kind of had a hankering to play a bit of this, so you know, it's, I do this because it's enjoyable, and so therefore, actually no, let's be smarter. Let's be smarter. And let's do that and that. And then patchwork what we need. Again, this is not super efficient. This might not stay. It's just something, you know. It's just something at the moment. Because we could do with a bit more storage or logs. And that's all it is. Right. So that's going in now. And then what that would allow us to do is reach over and very inefficiently build the other side. Or make a start on building the other side until, at least until they get further into this. But I want them to focus on other things, so, you know. So this is a way of getting the job done. Who's got nothing to do? You have nothing to do. I think you will have once they give you things to do. So what we need to do is copy the rules across to there. And then you should go be free. And probably what we need to do is have another builder's hut built that's super low priority, and you'll soak up any spare beavers. But let's prioritize it being built at least. Right, those are empty. So what we're now going to do is set to obtain, but change to dirt. But we can disconnect this one and bring it around here, and this one can go back to being an obtain on the logs, because it might take them a while to get the dirt. So, you know, we can be multifaceted. That was scary. It was showing the resources for the other district. We should probably think about also. So there's two things I'm pondering. One is if we cap those, or the other is if we work our way up and cap this one while we've got the drought. Because then we could have this run permanently. And if we're going to move our scrap metal production here, that seems kind of sensible. Because there's still a fair bit of scrap in here. So let's do that. That kind of feels like a good use of a tubeway to me. Can I put a tubeway station up there anywhere? I mean, I guess I could put one there. And then move it. So I'm going to put one here, but before I put it in, I'm going to blast there as a priority and put a vertical tubeway connection underneath it. Just for future usefulness. But yeah, I think we've got long enough that we can do this and not worry about the bad water. And if we're using bots to build it, we can not worry about the bad water anyway. But we need to splash some water for those. So let's do that with a little bit of a fluid dump maybe. Just there. Right, H for boom. No, U for you can't believe it's not H for boom. Can you tell they've changed something and then I've not played the game for a few days? So if I put that there, I've got more tunneling, haven't I? Which gives me the vertical tubeway tunnels anyway, so I didn't need to do that. But that means anyway, I can place that there and tunnel out under it however I want to anyway. So I didn't really need to do that. And then, because actually probably what we want to do is, no, that's going to be brutal on resources. Let's tunneling, tubeway under tunnel, come out there. And then do vertical tubeway tunnel. Actually, no, we'll do that. Do that, and then we'll run it up inside the waterfall. Even though it's bad water, because they can go through bad water without any issues. There. Let's go up there. And we're going to need to go up there. There. And then out of there. And the quickest way to get to that is there. And delete those all involved whilst deleting 3 trees. So let's do that and that. Grab that. Yeah, we'll rely on going through the Badwater, I think. And then at the same time, let's think about extending this, shall we? We've started, so let's vertical tubeway tunnel. Let's go down underneath it. Yes. Tunnel, tubeway, there. So if we want to get across to the industrial area, but without opening up any of the water bits, we need to do a bit of a circuitous route. But I'm going to turn off that water dump now. It's dumping water because it's reset those trees. Those ones are okay. So we will need to do some impermeable floors over that. I'm going to make those a priority because otherwise it'll flood the tunnels. Actually, let's just check for any other incidents like that. Nope. But we do need to bear that in mind. Because that could be a problem for us. Let's grab that again. And where are we headed? I guess that's the other question. So we probably want to come up at our industrial zone. So here's probably not a bad jumping off point, and probably makes sense to connect up under there as well, wouldn't it? So let's do a tubeway station there. Let's grab the vertical tubeway tunnels. This will also let them build from multiple directions, so that's always a good thing. There we go, and that should be the right level. So then let's just grab that, so we can go there, around that, and I guess actually just roll up. So we're going, are we destroying? No, we're not destroying. We're destroying some mangroves, which is annoying. You know, it is what it is, I guess. We've done it now. So what I wanted to do is think about where we will cross the Badwater, because that's at the same height. So let me just pause while I do this, actually. And I'm just thinking that rather than doing this random wander, we then go in a straight line across here and across here. All right, so if we go up, then there we go. So we need to make sure that we can get to those, which I'm pretty sure that we can. If I do that, does that let me do like sneaky prioritization things? I think it does. So if I do the same thing over here, And they're built anyway, so I think that's all the areas we have challenges with these. Just looking, sorry. Yep, and then it might make sense to... What I'm thinking is we tunnel out that and put one in there with a bit of work. And we need to put that there so it's connected, I think. Is that right? Or is that connected anyway? Give me a sec. Yeah, we don't need that there, do we? Or do we? Yeah, we do. I'm being slow. I think we've got some extra levels of connection going on, but I think that's just the way the pipes all hook up. So, awesome. Let's let them work on all of that. Tunnelage. Obviously, there are some issues with the fact that we were water dumping and we missed some impermeable floors. Or have they all been built? I think they've all been built. Yeah. I think Buddy just needs to catch up. Is there a spot back there? He's prioritised by haulers, so I think it might just be that it let a load of water out. And I could have been smarter with how I routed that, obviously, but you know, it's done now. And we could also be smarter by, yeah, in fact, we do need to be smarter and have some water dump in here to irrigate these. And we do have the resources to do that now, so water fluid dump can go there, you can go there, and that should start to let these spread a little bit. And we don't need to be quite so tight with the gatherer flags either, do we really? I've got a gatherer flag there, and they do cover quite a bit, so yeah. Let's give this a name. So this is Aqua Dump. And what we want to do is take the rules from this. Which is actually pretty simple. Yeah, because if it's not temperate and the depth is low. Okay, cool. So, create rules if season not equals temperate, resume, save, and then we do an if signal aqua dump less than 0.4. Save, doesn't matter about what it says because we just want to grab that bit. And we do an and save, discard, delete, duplicate, invert, script. And we'll do 0.6. Save and close. So let's... Oh, they're working on getting that done anyway, so... That'll be okay. That's filling up. Question mark. I'm very nervous that that's still leaking somewhere. Yeah, have you not got your impermeable floor built? Impermeable floor. Impermeable floor. Impermeable floor. Impermeable floor. Impermeable floor. I'm so... That's it. It's got it. It's just the water dump is taking a while because it's a big area, I think. Same with this guy. I mean, we might need to put a second water dump in here. I guess we could put you there. And copy the rules and put them there. And we do need to make sure that they finish building that. Yeah, so because that is... Oh, actually, we don't want it to stop at 0.6, do we? Because of the dam there. It might be okay. It might be okay. We'll keep an eye on it. You should be like that. Right, how are... One. So the tunnel going up is going up, which is cool. The tunnels going across are going and spreading, which they will. I know that it would be quicker to go through here, but I was trying to minimize the amount of cutting of stuff that we did. I know that didn't really work out, but, you know. Is what it is, folks. Right, that's... They've done the first few of those. I'm going to leave the... 1, 2... The gantries in. So that when it comes to... And I'm putting in the ones we don't need, obviously, because, you know, I like building unnecessary things, it would appear. Find your words. I'm leaving the gantries in because when it comes to building the water wheels, if they fit underneath, we can do that off of these as well. These ones that are set back, actually what we want to do probably is put in something like that. And grab the bridges. We don't need no stinking bridges. Such a good film. Not very appropriate film, but a good film. That should be okay. Bang, bang, bang. You. All the way along there, through there, through there, through there. They've got dirt in there. Awesome. Have they put dirt in here yet? They have. Cool. So we can now disconnect to that. We can connect that to there, that to there. And that can just be normal now. And we can start thinking about making use of that dirt. And I think the first place we want to do that is we want to get in there and get rid of that bloody damn thing. So that means we need some stairs. almost like the guy who made this wanted to make people's life difficult, isn't it? Demolish. Awesome. So they're getting into there. Let's put an ladder there. Get those guys into there. Get into there and get those planks. Oh, I missed one. There. No, it needs to. Doesn't need one on it. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Right, that's all going on and going great. So this, I think what we want to have is a few monitoring points. Now I need to swat up on my logic for some of automation, because you can get it to do minimums and maximums of things, but I'm not sure how to be that smart at the moment. So the other thing we need to do is move this guy. Need to get that bloody thing built so they actually irrigate this. I need a better solution for this, really, than 2 water dumps. But I think we need to move. Actually, what we could do is, now we've lost those 2 mangroves, because in the long run we'll gain mangroves from this. We put you there. Trust me, I know a doctor. Yep, that's working better now. If we move that to there, we can move / remove this path and get irrigation barriers in here. And reclaim some of this land and reclaim these trees. So that'll be good. Right, we are up here. We've got 8 days left. But I don't think it massively matters because words. Bots has builders. That was the words. Then the other thing we could think of doing is putting in some floodgates to focus which way the water goes. So we had some control. Because control helps control the fun. How many times can I say control in one phrase? So I guess what we'd look to do is... There's no point using expensive platforms to build that. Do that. And then do... because we haven't got the flat top ones. Do that. Leave them open for now. But we can then control the direction of flow of the Badwater. Come on, game. Thank you. And the other thing we should probably do, just for neatness, is come up here and clear out a bit of an area to put in a new thingy. So we can maintain access to that area. If we go in here, yep, they did get those in. So let's now delete those. And I believe that should let me put in a tubeway. And then we just need to connect it up to this guy. So, these tubeway tunnels are so good. Suppose we want you. And you. Let's stop there so it stays inside the tunnel. No, in fact, let's go there so it stays inside the tunnel. Then we'll come out there and connect it there. And you, we will copy and move down to here. And I guess we might as well take you and move you down to here. And let's delete you, and we will make you be scrap metal, set you to supply, prioritized by haulers. There we go. Good stuff. How are these doing? They are getting there. Brilliant. How are our underground tunnelers doing? The game does not like me peeling back this. Actually, they're doing pretty well. So that's cool. That's working better. I mean, we could really do... It feels like we really do need 2 water dumps in here. I wonder if we get them to delete that tree, move it to there, and that'll still let us move the path. I think we do that. So we have now got that. What I want to do then is we're going to put in a dirt block there and then a floodgate on top. We're going to put a floodgate there so we can control it. These might get replaced because ultimately I want to build a big water tank around this. So what we might do is end up filling... Oh, is there a little bit of... Oh, there's some stuff under here. Ooh. Right, how do we get to it? So, looks like we need staircase there. There's there. And, actually, we'll do it the long way. Just because it's easier and doesn't need treated planks. So let's wind down. And so that's hooked you up. And you. Empty. Empty. Oh, there's loads of bits of scrap metal in there as well. That's going to be a bit of a pain. So I guess we need to put in a scrap metal dude. Start pulling that out. Is there anything else under there? No. Okay. Not that we can see, I guess. I mean, you could seal the scrap metal in, but that just feels a bit silly. So, can we access any of the scrap metal is the next question. I don't think we can at the moment, so we're going to demolish you and start to fill that hole in, I guess. which might feel a bit counterintuitive, but I say I have plans for this area. Come on, bot, it's only a staircase. It's not thorns. And that should let us get rid of all of that. Awesome. There's nothing under that one, so for now, again, this might seem a little bit backwards, but ultimately we might end up unfilling it, but for now we're going to fill it. How are we doing up here? Pretty good. We are nearly there. Got 4 days left, which means then we'll be able to think about putting in the smelters over here. Awesome. This is now working better. We've not got to that yet, which is kind of annoying. We're down to 3,000 water. The water supply seems to have dropped off a little bit. So I think maybe something we want to think about is let's clear this out and get another one of the aquifer drills put in. And see if we can fill this to a deeper level. So, aquifer drill, if I put it that way, I can just run the power in a straight line to there. So I'm clearing more than I need to, but you know, that's not a massive problem. We store a bit more water, we can pump it for a bit longer, obviously. Right, how are we doing over here? I guess Buddy needs some storage for scrap metal. And we need to tell them to then export it. So export. Can we? No. Okay. That's okay. I think we need some paths spread out across here. And then you can get to some more of that, and probably the same here. Let's mark that corner, that. That. I feel like we need some lumberjackage over there, but you know, and let's get some path going over here. So they can get to that. Let's move this guy over here, because this should all be marked to be cut. Use whole sentences, please. Yeah, maybe we put another scrap metal there. I don't know if they'll be able to reach down into the hole, but you know, it's worth trying. Over here, let's They're waiting on planks. We've got planks. We just need you to come get them. So let's prioritize both of those. And start making the power connection. Right, that's in. Let's make sure they get those done. And those done. I know I'm telling them to prioritize a lot of things, and that means nothing is a priority. Yes, I know. I know. We have a very large workforce, so I don't think it's a major problem. We obviously need to get power out of this into the other wheels. And we can't build on these, so we're going to have to move the path. I think what we do maybe is bring the path out here and get rid of this. And come in the back way. I think that'll work. Right, so they're built. Only a few logs. We're sitting on 2,000 of them, so in the interests of speed, I'm going to delete those. Let's delete that. We'll let them see if they can come get that. That's too far from a district because I was dumb when I placed it. Bonus points for pointing that out in the comments. Delete that. Delete that. I'm not opening this yet because we don't actually need Badwater to be coming out of it yet, so we might as well not. Because weirdly the beavers, although being aquatic animals, travel faster in the dry. There is a mod so that they don't. Well, there's a mod so that they swim fast, which I kind of like, but I've not actually really used. Come on, get those out, and then we can move this to there and just reroute it. It just means we'll have a connection up there then, which I kind of like, just in case we need it. Did we get this connection in? Did we get all of the connections in? Good question. Well asked. That one's in. Those are in. Excellent. So things should be moving around much quicker now. We didn't get this hooked up yet. How is that too far from a district? Now you're not too far from a district. I want to get more water flowing, please. Come on. And let's prioritize building that. Who's got nothing to do in range? More scrap metal people. Come on. Alright, let's move both of you to here. We'll put you there. And delete both of those. We'll make you be an bot as well. Awesome. Alright, so you can now go there. And delete you. And connect you up that way. Like that. I've left the other one just because I don't know which is the quickest way they'll get that connected in. And possibly we want to shut that just to be careful of the water flow. Right, that's in and looking really rather tasty. So now what I want to do is come in and delete a bunch of it. Yeah, I know. We actually need access through to probably come in and remove some of these trees, which is a little bit frustrating because I don't think they're going to be able to do that easily. So what we need to do, what I need to do is mark a bunch of this to be deleted. So I'll be back in one moment. Well, I was going to say 2 things have happened, but 3 things have happened. I have marked all of the thorns to be removed. I've put in some access for that. Some of the trees have been marked as well by mistake, but that's fine. And I've recorded this for the 2nd time now because I got most of the way through recording what was going to be the ending of this video, and my computer hard crashed. And the other thing was, I've realized it's been going for quite a long time, so I think need to wrap this video up. So that's what we're going to do. This is turning into quite a slow process, but my plan, I think I've said, is to turn this corner here into a big irrigation tank. We will mostly be raising this up, which is why I'm filling this in, although I'm kind of thinking that maybe we go down a little bit, which saves me having to fill this in. We can't go too far because the exit for the main Badwater stream is down here, but maybe we go down a little bit. That saves me some faff with filling this in. But mostly I'm going to raise it up. And then put in some irrigation tunnels, a bit like I've done on craters, and try and green this whole corner off to be a big farming and forestry area. But it's taking us a while, as most things do on this map, because of the abundance of thorns. Let's give these some access. I think there are a few things we still wanted to do. So this is now running with more water pumping. So hopefully this will become fuller. We have a good power supply now. So this should all be hooked in. It's not hooked in across here, so we need to address that. So let's very quickly do that. As a priority, because we want to make sure that, yeah, because the supply is way lower than demand, which is not good because that's all of our water supply. So, and we've got a big excess supply available. So if you'd please come and build this, that would be wonderful. We've wasted a couple of days of potential water supply. So yeah, we're going to move that to there with its rules, so that's good. You are, yep, you're doing your thing. Come on, get this built, please. We need the extra power going into this. This is all filling up because our water supply is very low. I just want to check our tunnel system is not flooding. Nope, it stayed dry. That's good. Come on, game, please don't crash again. Those are both marked as a priority as well, so if they would just come and build them, that would be brilliant. Come on, we've got an army of builder bots. And you, and that should, there we go. So that should juice this pump up quite nicely, and it should juice all of these up quite nicely, and hopefully significantly speed up the filling of this area. And we can help with that now, or over time, I guess. That one we could actually hook up pretty easily, I think, if we did that. And that. And across there, and there, and there. And I think they can access all of that. And that'll give us another water source up there, which would be pretty nice. I'm going to tell them to manage distribution. I want to turn off explosives. This is one of the things that I did when I was recording earlier. We're going to set that to be explosives and obtain, and that should get the explosives out from under here. And then we can delete that storage. I mean, we could delete the storage anyway, and then they'll come pick them up. That'll be fine. I think we've got rid of all of the metal from under there, so these guys can go. Yeah, these guys are reaching across and getting rid of some of these trees, which is awesome. But yeah, I'm going to call it a day there, folks. And next time, I think one of the things we'll do is start building this tank, because we've got the space to now. That will start using up some of this wood, which is cool. I might actually put in another storage for logs here, because I think we're probably going to need them, so we might as well. In fact, if they've got that out, I am going to tell them to import explosives, and we're going to make one of these. Are any of these empty? Yep. You can be for extract, and we will also get them to import that. Yep. So we'll work on that next time. We'll work on getting power out of this next time, because I think that will be good, because we can then hook that into here as well and get even more of these running. But we're already 1 deep, which is quite nice, because hopefully we can get this to fill up to 2 deep, which would be good. We do have a problem that I built this without any exits for this, so maybe we want to, yeah, let's come over here and make these dams, just so there is a way for some of that to get out if we do really manage to fill it up deeper than I think. I guess the other thing we could be doing is ripping this scrap metal out in the future. We need to sort out the metal area over here. Get this going, get this flowing. Now that we've got that in, we can get rid of this now. And that, I think that was not the thing that caused the game to crash last time. But I was working over here. Anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Videos might be a little bit sporadic still over the next week or so because things are very busy. But yeah, appreciate the support, and I'll see you next time.